eyebrow twitching as if to say, "This is where you bring me, human?" Aaron sighed and went back to scanning the street for the campsite. The term man's best friend was apparently up for interpretation. He'd hardly achieved grudging respect from Old Man between New Mexico and Iowa. Still, the bare minimum of mutual appreciation was more than he could garner from the other occupants of the Suburban, wasn't it? When it came to his siblings, he took what he could get. Although now that only 3 Clarksons remained, as opposed to the 4 they'd started the journey with, there was even less for Aaron to take. A cross-country journey with no discernible purpose, unless you counted fulfilling your mother's dying wish as a purpose. In Aaron's opinion, they were simply indulging a whim that might have been entirely different if Miriam had eaten something else for breakfast or gotten distracted by a new cassolette recipe. Rita, his oldest sister, had shaken them in New Mexico, making for greener pastures. Or rumpled bedsheets, depending on if you were a realist or a romantic. Aaron still considered himself the former, even if he definitely felt a minor blip of something gooey over the whole inconvenient business. With Rita shacked up in the desert with her boyfriend, only Aaron, Belmont, and Peggy Clarkson remained. Sage, too, although the wedding planner wasn't related by blood. Some people are just naturally lucky. Aaron caught sight of the campsite turnoff up ahead and gave a loud cough to wake up the other travelers before easing the rust bucket that passed for transportation to a stop outside a small redwood building marked Tall Timbers Rental Office. Okay, it wasn't the Ritz-Carlton, but with a series of pre-election events set to begin the following morning, every Fleabag motel from there to Des Moines had been booked out. Fortunately, they were only a short drive from some of the event sites, whereas fellow politicians would begin holding rallies for the hometown hero and rising star senator, starting bright and early tomorrow morning. Or they had been his fellow politicians at one time, his equals, before he'd gone and fucked his rapidly growing career to hell. Now he'd come to Iowa to fight his way back in, by fair means or foul. Yes, for the first time in his life, Aaron was desperate. Desperate enough to share a cabin with his brother in the backwoods of Iowa and a place with a half-lit vacancy sign. Jesus Christ, don't let this vacation in purgatory last forever. "Are we there yet?" Peggy asked on a yawn, her stretching arms visible in the rearview mirror. "I'm starving. Is there a bathroom?" "Yes. What's new?" "And probably," Aaron answered, pushing open the driver's side door to climb out of the Suburban, followed closely by Old Man, who trotted off, presumably to take a leak, maybe chase a squirrel or two. This was how their arrangement worked. Aaron chauffeured the dog around, fed him, and didn't meddle in his business. Old Man would show back up when he was good and ready. Aaron stopped short when he saw that Belmont had somehow already beaten him out of the vehicle, all without making a sound. His brother stood still as a monument, hands tucked into his jean pockets, running cool eyes over the wooded campsite. "Good enough for you?" Aaron asked, moving past his brother at a crisp pace, eager to drop off his luggage and hit the bricks. If he wanted to find a way into the first function tomorrow morning, his work began now. Would have started last week if Rita's boyfriend hadn't sabotaged their only ride out of New Mexico. As expected, Belmont didn't answer him, but Aaron hardened himself against giving a shit. Ever since Belmont had knocked his tooth out and cost him 4 hours of dental surgery, their relationship had gone from dwindling to non-existent. In a barely conscious gesture, Aaron prodded the sore tooth with his tongue, watching as Belmont turned and helped Sage from the Suburban. In the same fashion, a reality television baker might transport a wedding cake. Even Aaron found it impossible not to watch his brother and Sage orbit each other like 2 slow-moving planets.